The Millionaire Fastlane by DeMarco is the ultimate blueprint that shatters conventional wealth-building wisdom and reveals the real path to financial freedom in years, not decades, making it essential reading for anyone tired of the get-rich-slowly mentality that keeps most people trapped in mediocrity. DeMarco begins this transformative book by exposing the fundamental flaws in traditional financial advice. The author argues that the conventional wisdom of saving money, investing in index funds, and waiting 40 years for compound interest to work its magic is nothing more than a financial fairy tale designed to keep people enslaved to mediocrity. DeMarco presents 3 distinct financial roadmaps that govern how people approach money and wealth creation. The first roadmap is the sidewalk, where people live paycheck to paycheck with no real plan for financial security. These individuals are focused on immediate gratification and often find themselves in debt, living beyond their means and hoping that somehow their financial situation will magically improve. The sidewalk mentality is characterized by poor financial habits, excessive consumption, and a complete lack of wealth-building strategy. Point 1. The slow lane represents the second roadmap that most financial advisors and conventional wisdom promote as the path to wealth. DeMarco thoroughly dismantles this approach by demonstrating its inherent limitations and unrealistic expectations. The slow lane philosophy advocates for living below your means, saving a percentage of your income, investing in mutual funds or index funds, and relying on compound interest over several decades to build wealth. While this approach is certainly better than the sidewalk, DeMarco argues that it has critical flaws that make it unsuitable for most people who desire true financial freedom. The slow lane requires you to sacrifice your youth and prime years for a potentially comfortable retirement, assuming everything goes according to plan. However, this plan relies on too many variables outside of your control, including market performance, inflation, job security, and your health. The author emphasizes that the slow lane is particularly problematic because it requires you to live frugally during your best years, while hoping to enjoy wealth when you are old and potentially unable to fully appreciate it. Point 2. The Fastlane roadmap represents the third and most powerful approach to wealth building that DeMarco advocates throughout the book. Unlike the slow lane, which focuses on job security and traditional investment vehicles, the Fastlane is about creating systems and businesses that generate passive income and build wealth rapidly. The Fastlane is not about getting rich quick through gambling or lottery tickets, but rather about getting rich quickly through intelligent business systems that solve problems for large numbers of people. The fundamental principle of the Fastlane is that wealth is built through business ownership, particularly businesses that can scale without requiring your direct involvement in every transaction. DeMarco explains that Fastlane wealth is created when you can decouple your time from your income, meaning you can earn money while you sleep, travel, or engage in other activities. Point 3. The author introduces the concept of the wealth equation, which demonstrates the mathematical difference between slow lane and Fastlane approaches to building wealth. In the slow lane, wealth is typically created through the equation of saving money and investing it over long periods, where your wealth is limited by your ability to save from your job, income, and the performance of your investments. The Fastlane wealth equation, however, is based on creating value for large numbers of people through business systems. DeMarco explains that when you create a business that serves millions of people, even small profit margins can generate enormous wealth. The key insight is that the Fastlane focuses on impacting large numbers of people rather than trying to squeeze every penny out of a limited income through frugality and traditional investing. Point 4. DeMarco dedicates significant attention to explaining the 5 Fastlane commandments that separate successful Fastlane businesses from failed ventures. The first commandment is need, which means your business must fulfill a genuine need or solve a real problem that people are willing to pay to have solved. Too many entrepreneurs create products or services based on their own preferences, rather than genuine market needs. The second commandment is entry, which refers to the barriers that prevent others from easily copying your business model. If anyone can easily replicate what you do, you will face intense competition and reduced profitability. The third commandment is control, meaning you must maintain control over your business and not be dependent on other companies for your success. Businesses that rely entirely on platforms controlled by others, such as Amazon or Google, violate the control commandment because changes in those platforms can destroy your business overnight. Point 5. The fourth and fifth Fastlane commandments are scale and time, which work together to create truly wealthy businesses. Scale refers to your business's ability to reach large numbers of people without proportional increases in your time, investment, or costs. A business that requires you to personally serve every customer cannot scale effectively and will limit your wealth potential. Time refers to your ability to detach yourself from the day-to-day operations of the business so that it continues to generate income, whether you are actively working or not. DeMarco emphasizes that the most successful Fastlane businesses eventually operate as systems that produce wealth without requiring the owner's constant attention. The combination of scale and time creates what the author calls the money tree, a business system that continues to bear fruit long after it has been planted and cultivated. Point 6. The book thoroughly explores the concept of productocracy, which DeMarco defines as an economic system where wealth is distributed based on the value you provide to others rather than the time you spend working. In a productocracy, entrepreneurs who create products and services that improve the lives of millions of people are rewarded with proportional wealth. This stands in stark contrast to traditional employment, where your income is typically capped regardless of the value you create for your employer. DeMarco argues that understanding and embracing productocracy is essential for anyone who wants to achieve significant wealth because it aligns your financial success with your ability to serve others and solve problems on a large scale. Point 7. DeMarco addresses the common misconceptions about entrepreneurship and business ownership that prevent many people from pursuing the Fastlane path. He emphasizes that successful Fastlane businesses are not about working more hours or taking enormous risks, but rather about working smarter and creating systems that leverage your time and effort. The author debunks the myth that entrepreneurship requires giving up security, arguing instead that true security comes from controlling your own income sources rather than depending on an employer. He also challenges the notion that starting a business requires large amounts of capital or special talents, demonstrating that many successful Fastlane businesses can be started with minimal investment by focusing on solving genuine problems for specific markets. Point 8. The author provides detailed guidance on identifying and evaluating Fastlane business opportunities by teaching readers to recognize problems that affect large numbers of people and can be solved profitably. DeMarco emphasizes the importance of market research and validation before investing significant time or money in any business venture. He teaches readers to look for markets where people are already spending money to solve problems, indicating genuine demand rather than assumed need. The book provides practical frameworks for evaluating whether a business idea meets the 5 Fastlane commandments and has the potential to generate significant wealth rather than just another job in disguise. Point 9. DeMarco dedicates considerable attention to the psychological and mindset shifts required to successfully transition from employee thinking to entrepreneur thinking. He addresses the fear and limiting beliefs that keep most people trapped in traditional employment even when they recognize its limitations. The author explains that Fastlane success requires developing comfort with uncertainty and the ability to think in terms of systems and processes rather than hourly wages or annual salaries. He emphasizes the importance of continuous learning and adaptation, arguing that successful Fastlane entrepreneurs are constantly improving their skills and knowledge to better serve their markets and stay ahead of competition. Point 10. The book concludes with practical steps for beginning the Fastlane journey, including how to transition from traditional employment to entrepreneurship without taking unnecessary risks. DeMarco recommends starting Fastlane ventures while maintaining other income sources until the business generates sufficient cash flow to support your lifestyle. He provides guidance on managing the practical aspects of business ownership, including legal structures, financial management, and scaling strategies. The author emphasizes that the Fastlane is not about overnight success, but rather about building sustainable systems that generate wealth more quickly than traditional approaches, while providing greater control and security than traditional employment. The Millionaire Fastlane fundamentally challenges everything you have been taught about building wealth and provides a proven alternative path that has created more millionaires under age 40 than any traditional investment strategy. DeMarco's approach is not about get-rich-quick schemes or unrealistic promises, but rather about understanding the mathematical and systemic principles that actually create wealth in the modern economy. This book serves as both an eye-opening revelation about the flaws in conventional financial wisdom and a practical blueprint for anyone serious about achieving financial freedom while they are still young enough to enjoy it. Thank you for joining us for this comprehensive summary of the Millionaire Fastlane. And remember that knowledge without action remains powerless. So take the insights from this remarkable book and begin building your own Fastlane systems today. If you found this summary valuable, please subscribe to our channel for more life-changing book summaries that can accelerate your personal